to another production of ParkTV 16 Sports on Location, and tonight we are proud to be here at ParkTV 16 Sports on Location for the Section 5A Final Boys Lacrosse featuring Maple Grove and Red Knights, and we're underway from McQuinn Athletic Complex right now. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us. Benilde going right to left, and they get the ball right off the bat on the possession. They come in undefeated, 15-0 against the 14-1 Maple Grove team. Winner goes to the state, and that is number 3 with it for the Red Knights. And that, of course, is sky rolled. It's been a week or two, so I gotta get the names back down, but that's sky rolled, number 3 with it. And we're underway, 75-degree weather, winds out of the west-northwest at about 13 miles an hour. Just a gorgeous early evening here in St. Louis Park. Glad you're with us. That's number 12 with it, Adam Beckman, the sophomore. And the pass is loose, and Maple Grove trying to get a turnover here early, but coming away with it for the Red Knights is Gus Bell, number 6. Bell with it in the far corner. Just underway, 11 minutes to go here, first quarter. Now to the near side, Adam Beckman. Beckman now looks to go right, being harassed by number 37 for the Crimson of Maple Grove, Ethan Sillerud. Now Beckman, 12, fakes the shot, now to the right flank to Gus Bell, 6. Now behind the net to number 16, Dylan Popane. Now number 8 with it, Cam Gelling. Now to the far side, Gus Bell. Quick rotation now as Red Knights start to pick up the pace. Just underway here in this Section 5A final. Winner goes to the state tournament in Stillwater, Minnesota next week. And Roll loses it momentarily, but no one there for the Crimson to pick it up. As we approach 2 minutes into first period here. We're at the McQuinn Athletic Complex on the beautiful campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's in St. Louis Park. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. Glad you're with us. Now the first shot of the match taken by number 8, Cam Gelling, and the save was made, ball loose. And coming up with it for the Crimson, number 44, the goaltender, Hale Fornoik. And there's Fornoik with the first save for the Crimson, and they're off to a good start on defense, and now they try to get the ball out of their own zone. Number 33 in a scrum there basically is Tanner Brendan, and Maple Grove survives that, and with the ball is Tyler Steinkoff, the sophomore. And now the Crimson on offense for the first time with the ball, number 35, Mitchell Sides. Now at the top of the key, number 1, Tyler Steinkoff. Steinkoff goes right to the hash mark, looking to take a shot, decides to pass up on it. Good defense by the Red Knights. Now ball behind the net for the Crimson, number 45, that's Landon Bakke. Now back out on top and losing. It's going to be an over and back and a turnover against the Crimson, and that's what they call. Number 7 loses it, Charlie Roush, and the first turnover against the Crimson. We're tied at 0, coming up on 9 minutes to go. Now number 1 with it for the Red Knights, Carson Brandt. He'll trot behind the net, being guarded by number 16, Shane Rass with the long stick, the sophomore for the Crimson. Now ball comes to the far side, and with it is number 1, Brandt. Or no, number 17 with it. That is Robbie Hoyt. Now to the near side, number 8, Cam Gelling. Now Hoyt to the far side, that's Bell. Gus Bell to the near side, Hoyt. Deeks right, now behind the net. Number 16, Popane. Looking for some cutters, and he tried to get it to Hoyt, but he lost it. The ball is loose, and the Crimson have it. And off they rush with it. The long stick takes a hit, loses the ball midfield, and Gus Bell with a neat pickup right and a spin move all at the same time. Takes the hit, ball loose. Crimson now have it, and we're underway, and what great action here early on for the Crimson. Number 20 has it. That is Ricky Peterson. Peterson trots back, or no, number 28, my mistake. Rory Scanlon was the man with that play. Nice play, and now the Crimson were tied at 0, just under 8 minutes to go, first quarter. Great defensive action. Josh Steinkoff, his shot goes wide right, and there to make the save right along with that was Justin Dahlum, the senior captain. Just, it looked like it was gonna be wide right, but he was right there to save it anyway. Now the Red Knights quickly in, and the pass misses the connection intended for Luke Drews, and then on the rebound was number 1, Carson Brandt's shot, and that goes wide right, and that's gonna turn the ball back over to the Crimson. There's that shot right there, and just missing wide right and out of bounds in favor of the Crimson. Great competition here. You can see the wind in the trees behind the benches and the fencing on the far side to get an idea how windy it is here at McQuinn Athletic Complex on the beautiful campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's. Now number 3, Red Knights with it. That is Tanner Brendan. Brendan being guarded closely by the venerable, great defensive player Kyle Stevens. The junior for the Red Knights with the long stick. Now on the far side on defense, Luke Drews tries to push it away, and the ball is maintained by the Crimson as we now have 7 minutes to go. No score, great defensive struggle, which is to be expected when you get to the championship round. Ben Schaffler now, and now at the top of the key, number 33 for Maple Grove, Tanner Brendan. Brendan now. To the near side, number 29, Ben Schaffler. Schaffler looking to put the move on defense for the Red Knights. That's 19, Will Fratelloni. And now looking for a shot here is 33, Brendan, and his shot goes out of bounds, and the Crimson will maintain possession with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Section 5A finals. The winner goes to state in Stillwater. Now and Roseville. Wow, thanks, Paul. So, but on the east side of the river for sure. If we dare to venture that far, we'll see. Now number 50 is Briggs Leeser, and he loses it to number 23 for the Red Knights. That's George Mo Broughton, the senior defender. Mo Broughton, open space. Will he come in and take a shot? No, he gives it up, and he'll go retreat back to his defensive position, and a great job by number 23, George Mo Broughton for the Red Knights. And now Sky Rolled comes off the bench on offense. 5:46 remaining. We're still at zeros in the first quarter. Carson Brandt behind the net. Gorgeous sunshiny night here in St. Louis Park. Just beautiful. Maybe the nicest day of the year so far at 80 degrees, low humidity, nice winds out there. Just a beautiful night to be out watching and playing lacrosse in Minnesota. Now Gus Bell, number 6, behind the net. Brandt in front, and the shot and a save. Point blank, Popane gets robbed by the goaltender. Hale for Noik, the junior, comes up with a second great save at point blank range. Beautiful goaltending there by the Crimson, and we're now at 5 minutes to go in the first period. No score. Number 16 loses it. Great defense by Sky Rolled, and he takes the pass back from Kyle Stevens. Brilliant defensive play and a tandem there by the Red Knights. Now Sky Rolled, the shot, and another save by Fornoik. Rebound to the Red Knights. Popane now behind the net. Being harassed furiously by number 14 for the Crimson. That is Joey Heisler. And now the whistle, and here he comes. There's going to be an equipment issue with Popane. Good call there by the official, and clock stop momentarily at 4:38. Now we're back underway. Red Knights with possession, and we're tied at 0. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen a lacrosse match start at 0 for this many minutes at the beginning of any match I've seen. And there's a quick shot, and I think he hit the crossbar or maybe the helmet of number 44, the goaltender, Hale for Noik. But what great action. Let's look at the replay right there, and the shot, it went off the post, and now the interception. Gus Bell comes in, flag on the play, and a goal. They're going to wave it off as the flag and the whistle came prior to the shot. Or we almost had our first goal, and is that going to come against the Red Knights? It might. It may have been an offensive push there. And we'll look to see, and it appears that the Crimson are going to get the ball just based on where the players are migrating to. There's 4:11 left on the clock. As they sort it out, and I look across on the far side, there's Carson Brandt. You can see in our picture, he's got his knee right at the 45 extended right there. There's a manager giving him some water. So the Crimson are going to have a player advantage, my guess, for about a minute. And now with the ball, Rory Scanlon, a chance for the Crimson to get up on the road in this championship final in Section 5A. Now number 21 with it, Conor Edlund.
His release time is 3:11 on the clock.
So he's going to be there for a minute. Carson Brandt And the Red Knights have it. Now they lose it in their own zone. And is that going to be a turnover? And it looks like it is. A rare unforced error by the Red Knights. And now the Crimson have it. Our clock is underway. 3:37 to go. Crimson still with the player advantage. Now with it, number 35. That is Mitchell Sides. Now to the far side. Number 1 with it, Tyler Steinkoff. Pass loose. Chance for the Red Knights to take it back over, but coming Steinkoff gets it, a shot and goals. He went low on Duluth, but now a flag from the far side. Let's see if that has any impact on whether that goal is going to count. Here comes the referee, but it looks like it might. And the referees are talking here. There's Steinkoff as he comes out. Oh, he took the cross shot. That's going to be the flag. The goal's going to count. And the Red Knights are going to take a penalty here at home, and they're down 1-0. And that goal comes with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Number 1, Tyler.
Right here, look at the spin out move. He gets out of trouble and then takes the punishment right there. Cross check, and that's going to be called against number 2, Mitch Stockman, the senior midfielder. So adding insult to injury, Stockman takes a knee. Maple Grove gets a player advantage on the heels of their first advantage and a 1-0 lead. We go to the center circle following the goal. In to do the honors is number 14. That's Max Miller, the junior for the Red Knights, going against number 6 for Maple Grove. That is Luke Margineau, and the Red Knights get a much-needed possession. They're down a player and a goal at home in the first quarter of the Section 5A final. Now behind the net is Carson Brandt. Brandt spins. So that's a 1-minute penalty for Stockman. And the Red Knights look like they are going to be content to wear down that player advantage time. Now sky rolled. Zigzagging around, now comes out in front of the net, gives it up to number 8, Cam Gelling. Now to the far side, that's Gus Bell, number 6. Bell. Near side rolled, and he misses it. So some rare misconnections by the Red Knights. Rare unforced errors. And they're going to need to tighten that up here. Might be first quarter jitters in the finals. I find that hard to believe, though. They've been to the state tournament almost every year to the final. But you know, there's still nerves in every championship game, no matter what level and how much experience you have. And right now, Maple Grove is hanging tough on the road against the number 1 seed Red Knights. And now we have a whistle. And is there going to be a timeout? It appears so.
Timeout, Crimson.
Crimson take their first timeout with a 1-0 lead and 2:18 on the clock and possession of the ball. And right now, if you're a Crimson fan, you could not be happier with the way this match has started. As we look at how both these teams got here in the Section 5A brackets, there's Benilde, the number 1 seed at the very top in that first round on the far left, and number 2, Maple Grove. And I think I can give you some scores here on how those matches turned out. I can. Hopkins, Benilde got a first round bye, and then they took care of Hopkins. I think we were here for that game that was 23-1 pummeling by the Red Knights. That moved them into the semifinals. Meanwhile, in that round, Maple Grove squeaked by the number 2 seed, Breck School, 10-7 in the lower half in the semifinals to get to the semifinals, and they took on the number 3 rated, ranked, seeded Blake School on Monday, just the other night, and they beat them 10-4. Meanwhile, Benilde took on number 5 seed Wayzata, who had previously upset the number 4 Armstrong team 10-7, and the Red Knights won 16-4. And that's how both Maple Grove and Benilde got here. So following the timeout, 2:18 on the clock, and I think both teams are at full strength. They are, but the Crimson have the ball and the lead coming up on 2 minutes to go in period number 1. Now number 33 for the Crimson, Tanner Brendan. And a miscue. Great defense by the Red Knights. Is going out of bounds. Crimson try to save it, and they do almost to Steinkoff. Ball still loose. Trying to pick it up for the Red Knights was 23, George Mulbrotten. Still loose. Still loose. Ball still loose. Mulbratten's trying to get it. No, that's number 2, actually. Mitch Stockman. Ball still loose. Steinkoff comes away with it and does a nifty pass to get out of trouble. Now here comes the Crimson with a shot. It goes off the ground and then off the crossbar and high in the air and far out of bounds. Watch this action. Bang! Off the crossbar. Wow, what great lacrosse action here on ParkTV 16 Sports. 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. Crimson with a 1-0 lead. Number 19 now with it. That's Scott Cornelius, the senior. Now behind the net, getting it to number 28. That was Rory Scanlon. For the Crimson, now number 33, Tanner Brendan.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute remaining now in the first quarter. Tanner Brendan, the junior, being guarded closely by Mitch Stockman. Now to the far side. Up top to number 19, Will Fratelloni. Fratelloni backs up. Now number 35 for the Crimson. That is Mitchell Sides. Sides up top to number 19, Cornelius. Now at the top of the key, 28, Scanlon. He's wheeling around, being guarded by number 24. That's Sam Pickle. And Scanlon can't find any room. 16 seconds remaining. Now rushing. Crimson, the shot wide right off the ground. That shot taken by number 22 for the Crimson, Josh Steinkoff. Ball loose. 7 seconds remaining on the far side. Causing it to go almost out of bounds is Riley Murphy for the Red Knights. Great defense. There's 1 second left. The pass up to Kyle Stevens, and there is the siren ending period number 1 from Benilde-St. Margaret's our score after 1 in the Section 5A boys lacrosse final. Maple Grove, the number 2 seed, up 1-0. Come on back for period number 2.
This is my husband, Alex Hussey. Alex was about 2 weeks away from coming home.
I was point man in foot patrol, and I stopped on the bomb. Lost my legs and my left hand in an explosion.
And he suffered a severe traumatic brain injury.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
There are so many mountains to climb, and we do it together.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
To watch Alex take on this mountain, that's what this is all about.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Alex has conquered this mountain. That's something he won't forget.
With the right support, there are no limits.
Look at that smile! You did it!
But there's more to be done, and more victories to be won.
This has meant so much.
Thank you, DAV.
Alex Hussey, thank you for your service. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
All right, welcome back to quarter number 2, our production of ParkTV 16 Sports. We are taping live the Section 5A boys final. Glad you're with us. I'm Robert Christensen, and we have had a great first period of action. We're about to begin the second quarter. 12 minutes on the board. Let's go. Red Knights now going left to right this time. And they are in a rare position, down 1-0 against this very powerful 14-1 Crimson Tide team. And following the face-off, and we got a whistle and a push, and it's gonna be Crimson ball, or no, Red Knight ball. No, Crimsons have it. And now a quick interception. Snacking it out of the ground is Carson Brown. Oh, he shot. He was right there on the doorstep. What a brilliant defensive play by that man right there. Number 1, Carson Brandt. He snatched that out of the air from out of nowhere and just couldn't quite put the finishing touch, missing by inches over that crossbar, and that would have brought this entire crowd to their feet as that ball had just been awarded to the Crimson. But meanwhile, the Red Knights still maintain possession, down 1-0. Early moments here of quarter number 2. Sky rolled, losing it. And uncharacteristically, the Red Knights are having a hard time with some of these little passes, and that's not going to bode well. They're going to have to clean that up, I feel. They're going to be successful tonight and get to the state tournament in Stillwater. Now, Carson Brown with the knee stick pass and a goal! And just what they needed, the shot to Hunter Pear. And Carson Brown, brilliant pass. Pear cutting in from the upper left corner. And look at the vision and the nice, beautiful technique of the pass. I liked how he just flinked that thing in, and Pear gets goal number 1 to tie it up. Just a sophomore attacker out there. And boy, that takes the edge off if you're a Red Knight fan. I don't think they've ever been zeroed out in a period of lacrosse all year long, and now they've got it tied at 1 with just under 11 minutes to go, 10:59 to be exact. Now the face-off at the center circle, picked up by Kyle Stevens, gets it back to Dahlum, and they'll set it up from deep down. Nice pass out there by number 23 for the Red Knights. That was George Mulbrotten, brilliant pass, and now the Red Knights. That first goal might just been the moment they needed, or the thing they needed to happen to get them on track. Now number 17, Robbie Hoyt. And I wonder if that sun isn't playing some role in their vision while they're having a hard time with those passes, because that sun is starting to lower. Now a quick shot. And the goaltender, Farnoik, he had it covered. Look at that beautiful looking shot. But Farnoik had that right post covered pretty well. And it did just go wide left. Now Carson Brown, who has 1 assist tonight, passes it out, and he gets it. Wasn't pretty, but he got it to Cam Gelling. Now to Robbie Hoyt, number 17 at the top of the key. Now to the near side, Gus Bell. Bell now swings around. Shadows starting to creep in from the grandstand. On the near side, you can see at the lower part of your screen there. That's going to start to play havoc here as we move along, as the sun continues to set on this gorgeous night in St. Louis Park. Glad you're with us. Cart Brandt gets it out. Having a hard time getting it. Was a kind of a awkward pass there for Cam Gelling. Now the ball loose is Hunter Payer over there trying to find it as well. Now coming away with it is Cam Gelling. He worked hard to get that. Now Gelling backs up. Now up top to number 12, Adam Beckman. Now to 17, Robbie Hoyt. To the near side, Gus Bell. He spins. And the shot wide left. Boy, good fundamental defense by the Crimson. And now behind the net, it's Carson Brandt, the junior. Brandt up top. Gus Bell with the shot in the goal. He bounced past it in. That's the only way I like to describe it. It's like a bounce pass in basketball, but it's a bounce shot, I guess you'd call it. I'm sure there's a lacrosse word for it, but I'll make up my own there. It's a bounce shot. And he just couldn't, talking about the goaltender, Farnoik, just couldn't time it right. And now the Red Knights are in familiar position, and that's in the lead, 2-1. They're undefeated on the season. They were down 1-0 after 1. Now they've scored the first 2 goals in quarter number 2, and they lead 2-1, 9:15 on the clock remaining. Face-off won by number 14, Max Miller, as he gets it to Kyle Stevens. Now to number 24, Sam Pickle. And now Dahlum gets it out to Kyle Stevens. And the Red Knights seem to be on track right now, especially if they can get the next goal and start to take command. Now number 5 with it, that's Luke Drews. Now up top to Sky Rolled. Rolled now, looks left. And now losing it. They're having difficulty. I wonder if that sun is not playing some role as Cam Gelling let it get away from him. There's an unforced error on the Red Knights once again, and now the Crimson have a chance. Crimson on the far side, that's number 35, Mitchell Sides. Now number 22, Josh Steinkoff. Now behind the net, number 35, Mitchell Sides. And behind the net, Dahlum. To the near side, Luke Drews. Luke Drews. To the far side, number 8, Cam Gelling. Gelling. To the far corner. Low alone, Gus Bell comes in, but he couldn't maintain his balance, and he goes to the ground, or they would have had a backdoor play with an excellent scoring opportunity, but it goes aside, and now the Crimson have it. A nifty pass ahead to number 7, and now the Crimson are off to the races. Charlie Roush with it. Number 7 for the Crimson, 7:40 remaining on the clock. Now at the top of the key, number 19, that is Scott Cornelius. Cornelius will wait for a teammate to come in off the sideline. He's waiting for 33, Tanner Brendan, and now Brendan has the ball. And look at the clock, 7:26 to go. Now number 7, Charlie Roush. Roush with it. Roush comes in, fakes right. Luke Drews marking him, now behind the net. Behind, now to Steinkoff. He's got the 1 lone goal for the Crimson. Now number 19 with it, Cornelius. Cornelius will come around up top. He's being guarded by number 6, Gus Bell. And that sun, that's got to be an issue as it comes down right out of the west out there. Now number 19, Cornelius makes a move, and the shot goes wide and over the crossbar and behind and out of bounds, and the Crimson will maintain possession with 6:54 to go. Now number 7 with it, Charlie Roush. Top of the key, number 28, Rory Scanlon. To the far side, number 33, Tanner Brendan. Brendan spins, takes a screen from number 19, Scott Cornelius, and now number 28 with it, Rory Scanlon. 6:37 remaining, second quarter, we're at 2-1. Red Knights were down 1-0 after 1, but they've scored the first 2 as we approach the midway point of quarter number 2 in the Section 5A Championship Final. All right, now number 19, Cornelius. His action started to slow. Teams are starting to catch their breath here. Frantic pace in this 5A final. You wouldn't expect anything different. Glad you're with us here at ParkTV 16 Sports. Now number 7 with it, Charlie Roush. He gets pushed back. 19 is Scott Cornelius for the Crimson. Now to 35, sides. And now Tyler Steinkoff. He's got their lone goal. Look for him to take another shot. You just get that feeling, don't you? Number 19, Scott Cornelius. Cornelius to the far corner. Steinkoff to the near side. 28, Rory Scanlon. Ball down. Number 28, Rory Scanlon. Now 22 with it. Josh Steinkoff to the near side, number 1, Tyler Steinkoff. Up top, almost gets loose, and it is loose. Ball. And the Crimson come away with it with 5:12 remaining. Number 35 there to pick it up was Mitchell Sides, the senior for the Crimson. Now Sides, and oh, there's a shot, and there's going to be a penalty on the Red Knights. And there's a goal! Sides takes advantage after the flag went up. And the Crimson have tied it up with 4:58 to go in the second quarter. And there they're celebrating. Let's see what happened. Luke Drews took a shot. The flag came out. And then 21 with it. Conor Edlund, there's the flag, came down. And the shot by Sides beats Dahlum high into the left corner. And the Crimson have tied it at 2 with 4:58 to go. And there's your goal scorer trotting off, number 35. Mitchell Sides, the senior. And we got a match here. Glad you're with us here at ParkTV 16 Sports. Now back to the center circle right away. No time's a waste in here. You can start to feel the intensity build. The crowd is almost full in this near grandstand right below my vantage point and our cameras. And now following the face-off, there's a whistle and a timeout taken by the Red Knights. And that timeout is their first of the match, with the score tied at 2 with 4:52 remaining, and we can look to see how these teams got here. And right away, I'm looking at the Maple Grove schedule coming into it. They started out the year with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. Then they lost to Centennial. Their only loss, 11-5, back on May 2nd, and then they rallied or ripped off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins in a row. And now they're meeting the Red Knights. They have not met previously this year, and the Red Knights, and you can see the win there on their jerseys. You wonder what impact, maybe that's having the impact on those short passes. You can see, yeah, it's really blowing out there. When I last checked my weather app, it was 13 miles out of the northwest. Temperatures were around 75 degrees at game time, and just look at that beautiful picture. It's such a gorgeous atmosphere in St. Louis Park on the campus of Benilde. If you've never been down here to watch a football game or a baseball, softball, or of course lacrosse, it's such a great place to be, right off Highway 100. Great asset in the community along with St. Louis Park High School. And I might as well say, I heard from Paul, our producer, St. Louis Park Baseball is going to the state tournament. First time in 70 years. I did a couple games this year, and I've done a few over the last few. They're a great team to watch. I'm wishing them luck. I'll be watching to see how they do. They have a great team over there. I think we filmed them playing Edina one Saturday, maybe a month ago. Okay, following the timeout, 4:51 on the clock. Red Knights with the ball. We're tied at 2 in the second quarter of the 5A final to go to the state tournament. Red Knights are the defending champions of the state tournament, so this is a huge, huge match for them. Gus Bell now, as it is for the Crimson, no matter what the circumstance. Now on the far side, Gelling, now at the top of the key, rolled. Gus Bell, quick rotation, Brandt. Now the quick shot by Gelling, misses and goes out of bounds, and the Crimson are gonna get possession with 4:21 on the clock. Still tied at 2 in the second quarter. Maple Grove on the fly, and the outlet pass to number 22. That is Josh Steinkoff. Steinkoff across midfield and safely into the offensive territory, but an unforced error by Steinkoff. A little mental breakdown there. That was really an unforced error. Let's see if the Red Knights can take advantage, and there's another one. Boy, nerves must be going on out there. Understandably so. And now the Crimson have it. And if you're the Crimson, you know, they've got to be in awe of the Red Knights' track record. They've gone to the state tournament championship game, I want to say 3-4 years in a row, maybe more. They've won it a couple times. They've lost it a couple times. But they're almost always there. And they are the class of the state when it comes to lacrosse. And the shot and a goal by the Crimson, number 33 this time, Tanner Brendan. And they are feeling it on the road. The number 2 seed now takes a 3-2 lead. That goal comes with 3:28 remaining. And they are having fun on the Crimson sideline. There is definitely momentum on their side.
Number 33.
Great enthusiasm over there. And the Red Knights are going to have to dig deep to match it. They're going to stay in this one. 3-2 with 3:28 to go. We got us a match, folks. Glad you're with us. I'm Robert Christensen. This is great lacrosse action. Some of the best I've ever seen tonight. The girls won earlier, and we brought that to you as well. They're going to the state tournament on an overtime victory against Wayzata, 9-8. Now Kyle Stevens ahead to number 17, Robbie Hoyt, and he loses it almost. An unforced goal, an own goal, I guess they call it in soccer. Now to the near side, as now the Crimson are back in business on offense. That's number 14 with it, Joey Heisler. And now the near pass, and they get it over into the offensive zone, and now a whistle.
Timeout, Crimson.
And the Crimson want to talk it over. And that timeout comes with 2:53 remaining. And we got us a match here, folks. My goodness. And the Crimson, that's probably a good timeout to take, even though they have the 3-2 lead. And that's one of the things that I've noticed in lacrosse, especially the boys here. They take timeouts when they have the momentum. And whenever I played like basketball, boy, if you had the momentum, you know, you took timeout to stop the other team's momentum. But here they had the ball. But there's a lot of moving parts, and you can see the coach. He definitely has a lot to say, but not too much. Sometimes just to set it straight. You know, maybe they looked a little discombobulated out there, but you can see the enthusiasm coming from those coaches on the sideline. Maple Grove has come in here on a mission. That's what it feels like, and the Red Knights are going to need to match that intensity and get this tying goal here. 2:53 remaining as we're approaching the end of the first half, the second quarter in this 5A section final. Sun continues to set. The shadows are starting to creep more. Lights are not quite on, a little early for that. As the days are continuing to get longer, but it's not going to be too long. They're start to get shorter already, just when summer gets here. But we're early in summer, thank goodness. Okay, play underway, 2:40 to go. Crimson with the ball and the lead. Number 33 with it. That is Tanner Brendan. Brendan switches back to 22, Josh Steinkoff. And another shot, and that goes wide left right across the goal crease and out of bounds. And the Red Knights are going to get possession on that exchange with 2:22 remaining. And our score 3-2. Now Dalum, the goaltender, he'll carry it up, gets to the left side. That's number 24 for the Red Knights, Sam Pikul. Now Sky Rolled rushes it in the offensive zone over at the 30. Being guarded and hacked by number 37, Ethan Sillerud, the senior for Maple Grove. Now Rolled gets it out as he waits for number 6, Gus Bell, and now he gets it back to Rolled. Rolled playing the point guard, as I would call it in basketball, to the near side on the wing. Gus Bell swings back. It's much like basketball here. You got a point guard, a couple wings. Now he's getting double teamed as they try to pinch him, but he gets out of trouble as he gets the ball to Gus Bell. Now behind the net to Carson Brown, quickly to the corner, and now Cam Gelling takes a shot from about a 45-degree angle, goes out of bounds. Red Knights retain possession. I look at the clock, 1:35 remaining now, second quarter. Top of the key, Rolled. That's what I'm talking about. That's so uncharacteristic of the Red Knights. Just miss those little things. It's got to be a concern. Now Rolled, and there it is again. Just pointing it out, not being critical. But they need to tighten it up, I feel, especially in a match like this against a very formidable opponent in the Crimson. Now Cam Gelling to the near side, Rolled. Sky Rolled, he loses it as he gets hit, and there's gonna be a turnover. No penalty on the play, I didn't see any. And great defense by the Crimson with 1 minute to go. Will they hold it for the last shot? And look at that nifty pass now to Steinkopf. That's Tyler Steinkopf, not to be confused with Josh Steinkopf. Tyler is a sophomore, Josh is the senior. Tyler had goal number 1 of the 3 for the Crimson. 42 seconds now remaining. On the far side, number 33, Tanner Brendan. He's got a goal on the night. Now behind the net, great defense and wonderful defense by the Red Knights. Number 15 caused the turnover, Riley Murphy. I thought they gave the ball to the Red Knights. The officials are talking it over. There's 31.4 seconds remaining. And I am mistaken, or they changed their call, and the Crimson have it with 30 seconds to go. Number 28 with it, Rory Scanlon. Now number 19, Scott Cornelius. Back to Scanlon. Scanlon tries to drive the ball, comes back to the far side to Brendan. Trying to get in, he gets Malachi crunched, ball loose. Kyle Stevens knocks it loose, picked up by number 19, and the shot by Scott Cornelius, number 19, goes behind the net. 5.3 seconds remain, Red Knights have it. I don't think it's gonna be enough time. Clock continues to wind, and that's gonna do it. 1 second, and there is the siren. And that's the end of the second quarter and the first half. Our score in the Section 5A Finals, Crimson 3, Red Knights 2. Come on back for the final 2 quarters on ParkTV 16 Sports. Glad you're with us.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Back to ParkTV 16 Sports and the Section 5A Final Boys Lacrosse match featuring the visiting number 2 seed Maple Grove Crimson and the number 1 seed Benilde-St. Margaret's. We're on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's, the McQuinn Athletic Complex to be exact, and that is not a typo. The Crimson have a 3-2 lead going into the third quarter, the second half, if you will. Beautiful 75-degree night, strong winds out of the west, although they might be fading a little bit, but not much, and we're underway, and the Red Knights are trying to get back to the state tournament for, I don't know, their umpteenth consecutive year. They're the defending state champions, but they've got their work cut out. They've been uncharacteristically careless with the ball, like I've never seen. I don't know if that's the wind or what but they need to clean that up, I think, if they're gonna get through into the state tournament. But we're underway, and at the center circle, that's number 2, Mitch Stockman, to lead it off, and you can feel the tension here at Benilde. And they're fighting for that face-off, and Stockman comes up with it with a brilliant play on the face-off, and that's just what the Red Knights needed to get off to a good start here in the third quarter. Number 6 with it, Gus Bell. Bell with it. Back behind the net. Just underway here in the third quarter. Glad you're with us here on ParkTV 16 Sports. My name is Robert Christensen. Glad to be with you as well. Now Sky Rolled with it. He's being guarded closely by number 9. I don't have a name for him, unfortunately, for the Crimson. That's weird. I usually do. And now to the far side, number 6, Gus Bell. Bell with it. Number 3 to the near side, Luke Drews. Drews backs up. Drews now gets a head on, and he's going, and gives it up to Brandt behind the, no, that's Popane. And he'll spin around as we approach now 1 minute. Gone already in the third quarter. Rolled, finds Luke Drews. No, he doesn't. Can't come away with it, and now the goaltender, Fornoik, has it for the Crimson. And the first offensive opportunity by the Red Knights goes by the wayside, and now the Crimson rushing it out. Number 16 getting harassed. That's Shane Rask. Rask with it. Over to the far side, number 29 is Ben Schaffler. Schaffler. And the Red Knights have it right back as they get the turnover. That's number 15 with it. Riley Murphy, and he takes a tumble. And a flag goes down, and I think there's going to be a penalty on the Crimson, and that might be their first one of the evening. And a chance now. Here's that replay coming over with the cross check. And oh yeah, that is going to be a penalty, and there's going to be number 35. I think that's Mitchell Sides. It is the senior. As you can see him right there, and he goes down on one knee. Genuflect, young man. You're in the penalty box, as it were. And now the Red Knights with the player advantage with a chance here to tie it up. And that would be just what the doctor ordered early in the third as we approach 10 minutes to go. Now at the top of the key, that's number 12, Adam Beckman. To the near side, Cam Gelling. Now out to roll, and there's that other miss. They're just miscuing on those passes. I've never seen it all year long. Now Carson Brandt pulls that out of the sky. All alone, up top to Beckman. He almost loses it, takes the shot, and it goes right into the basket of the Crimson, and they're off to the races. Streaking down the field on the Crimson, that was number 31 for them. That's Connor Cashbaum. Rushes it in, and now the Crimson have it. And their first sustained possession in the third quarter comes with 9:40 to go. 19 with it. That is Scott Cornelius, being guarded by Kaya Stevens. Cornelius rushing with Stevens, trying to corral him in. He comes in, takes a shot, and Dalum makes a brilliant save. And the ball comes back on defense to number 24, Sam Pickle, and he gets it on the near side, and down hitting is Carson Brandt. Brilliant defense by number 19 for Benilde, Will Fratelloni. Now on the offensive end, it's Carson Brandt with 9:09 to go in the quarter number 3. Brandt moves in, takes the shot, and scores it! Single-handedly unassisted, Carson Brandt. He had it high in the basket, went low, and the official call that the touchdown signal comes with 8:58 to go, and we're tied just like that. Carson Brandt, look at this individual performance. Great fake, gets the defender to lean left and comes and just sneaks it in there. Great vision by number 1, Carson Brandt, the junior attacker. We're all threes with 8:58 to go in the three quarter.
Going for the Red Knights, number 1, Carson Brandt.
And back to the center circle, Mitch Stockman. He did such a great job to kick off period number 3. Let's see if he can dig it out. They're going for it. It's like a wrestling match there at the beginning. And the Red Knights have it again. Dockman is 2 for 2 in the third quarter, and that was a great coaching decision to put Dockman in there. And now Luke Drews has it at midfield, and he's got some space to get something done. So he streaks to the near side, spins around, fakes the pass, gets the defender out of position, but the defender gets back. That's number 37, Sillerud. And his cross check brought a cry from the home crowd. They were wanting a penalty there. I don't know if they got it. I don't see a flag on the field. Now the Red Knights, Luke Drews. Tied at 3 with 8:15 to go. Hold on to your hats, folks. You can feel it. This one's going to go down to the wire, and we're only in quarter number 3. And there's another miss and a miscue. Unbelievable what's going on today with these Red Knights. Now the Crimson have it, number 11. And I don't have a name for him, but that's okay. Now number 1, I know him. That's Tyler Steinkoff. He got goal number 1 for the Crimson to kick off the scoring. There he is. He's just a sophomore out there, not to be confused with his brother Josh Steinkamp, who's out there number 22. But with the ball right now is number 33, Tanner Brendan. Brendan spins around, goes in to the near side, and the shot just missing, and taking the shot, number 35, Mitchell Sides, as number 23 for the Red Knights, George Mobrotin, made him pay the price. Crimson retained possession with 7:20 to go. Now ball loose, number 22. That is Steinkoff. Steinkoff now behind the net, being guarded by Kyle Stevens. Steinkoff, the senior, and his shot goes wide as Dalum goes down to his knees and marginally deflects it. Great save by Dalum. There's the pass. Kyle Stevens pushing him out. But I think Dalum just got a piece of it. 6:58 to go. Now with the ball. Now up top, number 33, Tanner Brendan. Far side, now 28. That is Rory Scanlon. Pass in front, deflected on the defense. And coming back up with it miraculously was Tanner Brendan. And a shot saved by Dalun, rebound. Dalun has it, and what a great save by Dalun. Justin Dalum, the senior goaltender, right there, making a beautiful looking save. He gave up the rebound momentarily, but was able to corral it after all. Great save, which was almost a certain goal for the Crimson, I felt. Now Kyle Stevens in the have, and now a timeout taken by the Benilde Red Knights. And that timeout comes with 6:15 to go in the Section 5A final, and it could not be more exciting here. Gorgeous night at the campus. And looking at the Red Knights stat totals, I haven't gandered at them yet tonight. The leading point getter on the year is Gus Bell, number 6. He's got 42 coming into tonight, followed by Sky Rolled with 34 total points, and Cam Gelling. So it's Bell, Gelling, and Rolled. Sounds like a law firm, maybe. Maybe a good one. Maybe they can do that with their lacrosse camaraderie. Actually, I also see with 43 points leading it, you know, they're not in order from my stat sheet here. Actually, Carson Brown is the leading point getter, but the leading goal scorer is Cam Gelling with 31 goals. He only has 3 assists, so most of his points are on the goals for 34 points. And there are the Red Knights. You can still see the wind is blowing out of the west, and now they come out of the timeout, and the clock says on the board 6:15. And we're about to begin. We're tied at 3. Red Knights have it. Carson Brandt right there at the 40. He kicks it off, and we're underway. Less than 20 minutes to decide the champion of Section 5A and the entry into the state tournament. Now Rolled. Good defense by the Crimson. This is just brilliant lacrosse by both teams. I hope you're as entertained as I am. And Rolled takes a shot and scores! He went high, right under the crossbar and under the chin, and over the shoulder of the goaltender for the Crimson, Fornoik. And he put the shoulder down, saw the opening, and worked really quick, and Fornoik was not ready for it. And he had so much pace on that ball. He delivers the goal, and that comes with 5:52 to go. And the Red Knights are on top, and they haven't been there at all tonight. This is their first lead. They were down 1-0. Maybe they were up 2-1 momentarily in the first half. I'm mistaken there. And now Mitch Stockman, and there's a whistle, and Stockman's like, what did I do wrong? And I guess according to the official, they did. Clock now winds, 5:50 to go. Crimson have it, and now they're down 1. And with the ball, that's number 6 for the Crimson, is Luke Margano, the junior. Now 33, Tanner Brendan. Brendan, far out, being harassed. That's 33 on defense for the Red Knights, doing a great job. William Connor, and Connor almost gets it to go, but Brendan picks it back up. You could see it coming. Now, Rushing it, 22. That is Josh Steinkoff. Steinkoff behind the net. Backs up. Spins. Steinkoff, the senior. Josh. Still with the ball, now behind the net, gets it to Sides, number 35. Sides now, they're working that back end zone as the sun continues to set. Sides takes the hit, and it's knocked loose by number 23, George Mulbroughton on defense. And he forces that turnover. Now Dalum, the goaltender, has it as he gets it ahead to number 24, Sam Pickul. Pickul brings it up, gets it ahead to Rold, and Rold able to pick it up and save it. Now he's wide open in the offensive zone. Now to the near side to number 1, that's Carson Brandt. Brandt, 4:20 remaining. Now Rold. Up top to number 6, Gus Bell. 4-3 lead by the Red Knights. They're clinging to it as we're now deep into the quarter number 3 of the Section 5A finals, and there's another miscue. Now that time I think it was the sun, and it's over and back on the Red Knights, an unforced error once again, and that has been their Achilles heel tonight. Will the Crimson take advantage? That's number 28, Rory Scanlon for the Crimson. Gets it up top to number 29, that was Ben Schaffler. Now on the far side, that's number 1, Tyler Stankoff. Now number 21, that is Edlund. 29, Schaffler. Far side, Tyler Steinkoff. Kykov gets harassed there by 24 on defense, Sam Pickul. Now they come away with it. Pickul forced the turnover, now the Red Knights have it. And that's number 15 rushing it, Riley Murphy. Murphy's still with it, he's looking for someone to give it to. And he finally finds his teammate, Luke Drews, and now he gets it in to Cam Gelling. Or is that Gus Bell? It's either 6 or 8. That's Gus Bell. He takes a shot, and he something came out awry on that as we approach 3 minutes remaining in period number 3 of the Section 5A final. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. You're watching the great boys high school lacrosse action in this Section 5A final. Now behind the net, that's Gelling. He's their leading goal scorer. Drews over to Beckman, 12. Far side, Gus Bell. 2:42 remaining. Bell looking right into that sun as it's on the horizon. Now behind the net to the near side, Carson Brandt. Brandt, and his shot goes off the left post and ricochets sharply behind the net. And it's gonna be in the Benilde possession, remains that way. 2:22 to go. Now top of the key, number 12, Beckman. Drives the left side, spins around, looking, can't find anybody open. Now 6 on the far side, that is Bell. Now behind the net, that was 21, Hunter Payer. He got the first goal for the Red Knights of the 4 that they have tonight. And boy, do they need that to kick it off as they were down 1-0 at the time. Now Gus Bell. Bell up top to Adam Beckman. 1:51 remaining. Now Bell. His shot from way up top goes wide right and out of bounds, but the Red Knights will retain possession. Clock stopped at 1:46 remaining. Beautiful night here in Red Knight country. Red Knights now with the sustained possession. Gus Bell with it. Bell trots up to the top of the key, now to the near side. Carson Brandt on the near side on the wing, and he'll switch places with Cam Gelling. Brandt now behind the net, gets it up top, and with that sun in his eyes, he catches it and takes the shot. That's Gus Bell, and it deflects out of bounds, oh, not out of bounds, but into the basket of number 14 for the Crimson, Joey Heisler. He's got the ball with 1:11 to go. Now he loses it as he's getting harassed by a slew of Red Knights, a wasp of them. And Crimson still maintain possession. Number 7, Charlie Roush, the senior, comes up with it. Roush still has it, and he gets relief by getting it to the near side to Sides. And now up top to Brendan, to the far side to Steinkoff. Nice move in the shot. Dalum deflects it over the crossbar and out of bounds with 46.9 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Look at this action. Dalum just gets a piece of it. All right, Crimson with it with 40 seconds remaining, looking to tie it up to go into quarter number 4. Wouldn't that be something? for the match. If you're a Red Knight fan, that would not be something. But for the neutral fans out there, a tie game going in the fourth quarter. Can't get more exciting than it already is, actually, but it might be just a little bit. And it is exciting. Look at the defense on display by 24, Sam Pickle. As he tries to come away with it, still loose. And the Crimson, fortunately, come away with that for them. 12 seconds remaining. Red Knights do a good job. Quick shot by Brendan. Goes wide right. Clock stopped with 6.6 seconds remaining. Crimson retain possession. 35 with it is Sides. 3 seconds remaining. Sides comes in. It gets poked loose by number 23, Mo Broughton. And that will end quarter number 3. And our score is 4-3. Come on back for the final fourth quarter in this Section 5A final.
Drownings are the #1 cause of accidental death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Designate an adult water watcher to watch kids in and around water. Save the phone calls and texts for when the kids are out of the water. Properly fence all pools with fences at least 4 feet high and with self-closing, self-latching gates. When above-ground pools aren't in use, remove the ladders. When pools aren't in use, cover them. Teach kids to stay away from drains. And if a child is missing, check the pool or spa first. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more. Because you never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
No, I do think the sun and the wind maybe. Yeah, I do too. That sun is bright. All right, welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports. It's the fourth quarter to go to the state tournament. It's 4-3, and it's been that close all evening long. If you're just joining us, you are in for a treat for the next 12 minutes of playing time. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us. It's gonna be exciting. Buckle your seatbelts. Mitch Stockman to take the face off. They're going left to right with the wind behind their back at home. Trying to get back to the state tournament again this year in 2022. And Stockman makes it happen. And he has been stellar at those face-off and the quick shot taken by Rold. Not a bad idea. Boy, to get a goal right off the bat like that would be a momentum shifter to be sure, and the Red Knights retain possession. So a good shot there by Rold. I like it a lot. Just kind of stun them just like a taser right out of the bat before they knew what hit them. And there, that's that sun. That's all sun there. Brandt never saw it. And that sun is at a tough angle right now. And now that's going to turn into a turnover for the Crimson. And from behind, Brandt decides to get it back. And the ball is loose. And now a whistle. And what's going to be the call? Possession to the Crimson. They're down 4-3. Clock running with 11:15 to go. And there's a shot and a save by Dalum. Rebound, though, and it's picked up by the Red Knights. Number 24 with it. And he gets Sam Pickle, and then he finds number 2, Mitch Stockman, with a beautiful pass. And now the Red Knights are in business on offense with 10:55 to go. Number 6, Gus Bell with it. And you can see the sun coming right in on the goaltender there. Hale Fornoik. And that is brutal, that sun. It's blinding. And it's right in his eyes. If I'm see right there, it was in that Red Knight player. I think that's Robbie Hoyt. And that's no joke, that sun. Very reasonable explanation. Now picking it up is Robbie Hoyt. Hoyt to the near side, number 6, Gus Bell. Bell takes this Robbie Hoyt, deflected near in front, and then the ball ends up in the goaltender's basket, number 44, Hale Fornoik. And a goal just like that. I didn't even see it. just look at the replay to explain it. Wow. It happened that fast. I was just looking down at my program. And let's see the replay. So there's for Noik. And Hunter Payer snapped it out of thin air and scored the goal. My man, Hunter Payer, his second of the night. He snapped that out of the air like cat quick. Unbelievable. Watch this, folks. This is the most incredible goal I've ever seen. He puts it up there and takes it right out of the sky, realizes he had it and gets rid of it without having to set up. It was brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant goal by Hunter Payer. Comes with 10:07 to go, and the Red Knights have their largest lead of the night, 5-3 in the fourth. That is highlight worthy on any medium. ESPN highlights, they should put it on there. That was incredible. And there is the section brackets. And is there a timeout on the field? I didn't hear. It doesn't appear so. The Red Knights are over there huddling around, and there's the brackets. And tonight is June 8th, 2022. And that replay was, or that play by Hunter Payer, incredible, incredible goal. And if you're the Crimson now, they're gonna have to dig deep on the road, down by 2 against the mighty #1 seed Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. But this game is far from over with 10 minutes to go exactly. And now a whistle as Mitch Stockman was in there, and the Red Knights get possession. And momentum has clearly shifted their way. And with the ball and the rest, Sky rolled now. Trots back up. And number 6. Gus Bell now on top, Sky rolled to the near side. Gus Bell now rolled. Nifty pass to Backman behind the net to Brandt. Brandt looking to make a move, comes on the far side, spins around. You can still see the sun is playing a role. Now Bell, he's gonna take a quick shot, it gets deflected. And Brandt picks it up on the rebound. 9:23 remaining in the match. 9:23 to go to the state tournament, and there's another miss. He took his eyes off it that time. That was player error, I would say, not the sun. And now the ball is loose. Crimson desperately need to get possession. Ball still loose. Clock continues to tick. Gets kicked, and it gets kicked right to Gus Bell. He goes to the ground, and the ball comes loose, and now the Crimson have it just like that. Number 11 for the Crimson rushes in. I don't have a name for him, and he gives it up. And the Red Knights get the turnover right back with 8:50 to go. Clock stopped, and now back underway, and Dalum, the goaltender, will rush it up, at least to start with. Now to the near side to number 24, Sam Picule. And now Luke Drews trots in on offense, stops at the 20, turns around, and everybody catching their breath out there in the fourth. Number 6, Gus Bell, on top to number 5, Luke Drews. Now to the near side, Gus Bell. Bell, behind the net to Carson Brandt. Brandt cuts left, on the bound of Bell, but nobody there to take advantage for the Crimson, and he's got to catch up before it goes out of bounds, and he does. So Gus Bell, as we approach 8 minutes remaining to go to the state tournament for one of these two teams, the number 1 and 2 seeds in Section 5A. Now on top, Luke Drews to the far side, that's Gelling. Back to Drews, quickly into the near side, Gus Bell thinks about the shot, and he takes one, and a nice save by Hale Fornoik, the goaltender, but the rebound comes back in the Red Knights' possession, and that brings a round of applause from the home crowd. Now up top, Luke Drews to the near side, number 6, Gus Bell, Drews, Gelling. Gelling, Drews, he retreats. They're like little water bugs out there, the way they can move around. It's amazing, left, right, forward, backwards. And there's a deflection and interception, and boy, did the Crimson need that. Number 15, Lucas Bacchus. And the Red Knights get it right back, and that's gotta be a spirit crusher Just when you work so hard to get it, you lose it and give it right back. And momentum is clearly with the Red Knights as we now have 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. A trip to Stillwater on the line for the winner of this one and the state tournament. Red Knights are the state tournament defending champions. Last year, the year before, they didn't get to defend it. I think they've won it now 2 years in a row, or I can't be sure. Now Roll delivers the knockout shot from about the 27-yard line inside the near hash mark. And the sun is still on the goaltender's eyes, but who cares? Roll takes that shot with every amount of might, and he beats Fornoik on the right side. And the Red Knights now have a 3-goal lead, the largest of the night, and that comes with 6:37 to go. And now the Crimson has to dig real deep here to get back into this one. On the road. And the Red Knights, they're a happy bunch here, the home crowd in the grandstand, that is for sure. Now Stockman, he wins it again, and you gotta give a lot of credit to their success here in the second half with Mitch Stockman taking those center draws. He's won almost all of them in the second half. And I'm a firm believer that that is such a critical part of this game and winning these types of matches. And there's Stockman, and he settles it down and now gets it to Gelling. And he'll run away, and now stepping in Gus Bell with 6:11 to go. Gus Bell. Bell with it. Up top to Luke Drews. Drews. And the Crimson are bringing their defensive out. They've got to get aggressive and take some chances because they need possession of the ball. And you can bet the Red Knights are going to take their time now with a 3-goal cushion. Crimson have not scored here in the second half. It's all been in the first. They had a 3-2 lead. And now it's been 4 consecutive goals by the Red Knights. And they're looking for more. Carson Brown, look out from behind. Oh, he survives that hack from behind. I thought for sure there was going to be a turnover. Nice job by Brandt. And Brandt, I think he's playing with that injured right foot. I remember we did the match where he got hurt, and then we did a couple more afterwards, and he wasn't playing. Look at the nifty move by Brandt with the bad wheel there as well. And now Hunter Payer, who's got 2 goals on the night. And that last one really turned the tide. And now there's a flag coming against the Crimsons. Number 37 with the cross check. That's Ethan Sillerud. And he's going to get the whistle for this right there. It's a charge and a cross check. And that was completely gratuitous. And now that's going to be a player advantage. And that says it all right there, number 11. And there's a little bit of frustration on the part of the Crimson, and that's just not going to help their cause. Is now with 5:07 to go, they're going to be down a player, and they're down 3 goals, 6-3. Now behind the net, number 1, Brandt. He'll start it off. Nope, it's number 6, Gus Bell. The player advantage against 37.
Release time will be 4:07.
He'll be back on the field in 4:07. So for the next almost minute, the Red Knights will have a player advantage and a goal. Cam Gelling, the sharpshooter from the 45-degree angle on the far side in the shadows. And the sun is still in that goaltender's eyes. Right here, the shadows could have played a role, and that was just lightning fast. And Fornoik had no chance, and if there was any sun in his eyes, he really had no chance. And you can see the sun on that net. It's right at the eye level. And there's Cam Gelling. And now all is well in the land of Oz, right? All is well in Red Knight land. They're up 4 with 4:44 to go in the fourth quarter. If you're into numerology, that's a good sign for the Red Knights and their fans, as it's looking good so far, but it's not over. As everyone knows that watches lacrosse, goals can come in rapid succession. So they've got to keep their nose on the ball. And there's Mitch Stockman. So many heroes in this game, and he's one of them. Hunter Payer is another one. Outstanding play by number 2, Mitch Stockman, at the center spot on those face-offs. Critical to their success in the second half. Absolutely critical. The switch made by the head coach turned out to be a brilliant move. And now Rolled has as he trots with the ball, a 4-goal lead with 4 minutes to go in the fourth. And Robbie Hoyt there, that's the sun. The sun is just beautiful, but it is brutal. Brutal, beautifully brutal. Is that a word? Is that alliteration? What is that? Now there's Beckman! And let's go, Red Knights. They are off to the races. The floodgates have broken. The levee is broken. And the Red Knights are back to familiar personality, identity, whatever you want to say. But after being down 3-2, they have reeled off 6 straight unanswered goals to dominate the second half. And now back to do the center duties is Max Miller, the junior. Clock stopped with 3:46 to go. And it's appearing that these Red Knights are going to join their sisters, the girls lacrosse team, and going to the rare respective state tournaments. And good times ahead for these Red Knights in early summer. And there's a trip and a whistle, and it's just not going the Crimson's way any longer. Boy, they played so well in the first half, and they really looked like they were going to get the best of the Red Knights as we look at that trip. And that did look inadvertent, hardly intentional, as Tanner Brendan took down Sky Rolled as the official picks up his flag. There comes Carson Brandt. Sun still partially shining on this field. The shadows, I think, are always cool when you look at sports venues. But it is hard on the players when you go from sun to shadows, or the ball comes from someone throwing it from the sun to the shadows, or vice versa. It can affect your depth perception. And I would say the Red Knights have cleaned it up. They were really struggling with those little fundamentals, which has been their identity, that they don't do that. I've often compared other lacrosse teams with the Red Knights and how good they are at these fundamentals, just like that, those little passes. But right now they are crisp as a new iron shirt. Now behind, Carson Brandt in the middle, and the shot by Payer, and he gets the hat trick. Hunter Payer. Must be the B12, I don't know. But that guy with the cool ponytail, I'm an admirer of ponytails, and that guy is a sophomore, and he is a rising star in this league and on this team for sure. Good times ahead for that man right there, and there's good times right here for him and his team, as now it's 9-3 with 2:57 to go. Back to the center circle, this time it's Mitch Stockman. Crimson have not had possession of this ball almost for the entire fourth quarter. In fact, I don't think they've hardly had it, and now they're basically playing football out there. And the Red Knights get away with it. Now, Mo Broughton. No, that's Sam Picoul, I'm sorry. Now, Dockman with it. Spinning around, 2.5 minutes to go. And they have punched their ticket to the state tournament. I don't think I'm premature. If you were Dandy Don and Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford, I think Dandy Don would be singing "The Lights Are Out, the Party's Over, Turn Out the Lights, the Party's Over," and Hunter Payer looking for the all-star behind the head shot there. I have a feeling I'm going to be calling his name a lot in the next few seasons here, as long as they'll have me here. Such an honor to be able to broadcast these games. Now on the far side, that is Gus Bell. 9-3, we're under 2 minutes. Now ball back out to Carson Brandt. You can see that right leg is a little ginger. Now 3 with it, Sky Rolled. Rolled. Now behind. Spinning around. Chasing him, number 22 for the Crimson, Josh Steinkoff. Now Rolled. Rolled. Just running the clock out now with a 1:11 to go. Rolled with it. Rolled. 1 minute to go. Roll. They're content to run out the clock here. Oh, an errant pass all the way out of bounds, and the ball is going to be in the possession of the Crimson here, I believe. In a timeout. I don't understand this timeout by the Red Knights. Maybe it's to get players into the match, and that I would find perfectly okay. Give them some playing time in the final. I hope that's the reason. I'm pretty sure it is. So what a match here for the Red Knights, and this was not an easy match. This Crimson Tide came, I say the Crimson Tide because I keep thinking of Alabama, so my apologies. But the Crimson of Maple Grove came out and they were itching for an upset, and it appeared to me and it felt like to me that they had it going on. They were enthusiasm. The Red Knights seemed to be on their heels, and they weren't playing or acting like their normal selves. And yeah, we got some substitutions out there, it appears. And I also think it's good just to take a time out to settle everything down, make sure no one gets hurt. Just make sure everything is it should be with 51.4 seconds. But with a 6-goal lead, it was hardly absolutely necessary, but it's his prerogative, and I respect it wholeheartedly. And this has been just a great match. Red Knights were down at halftime, and they have dominated the whole second half. They were down 3-2, scored 7 consecutive unanswered goals, and they just dominated the second half on this great Crimson Tide team. Crimson Tide, I can't help myself. I've been watching college football for a long time. Now they should just call themselves the Crimson Tide. Why not? Just Maple Grove Crimson Tide. Maybe they are the Tide, I don't know. And now that they have the ball with 49 seconds left, and it's all academic here for the rest of the time. And stay with us for the awards ceremony that will follow immediately at the end of regulation. Maple Grove with it. That's number 29. Now to the near side, 21, 19. Will Fratelloni. And the ball's behind the net. Out of bounds, 22.9 seconds remaining. Dalum, the senior goaltender, gets it out. 19 seconds remaining. Look out from behind. And he did have the instinct, Riley Murphy. And gets it ahead to number 8, Cam Gelling. 10 seconds remaining for the Red Knights as they're about to go to the state tournament. 4 seconds remaining. Gelling still has it. He's going to hold it. And a whistle with 1.5 seconds. Don't tell me there's a timeout. Nope, a turnover. Crimson has it. There's a quick shot right at Dalum, and he's got it, and there's the whistle, and the Red Knights are victorious. They're the champions of Section 5A, and they're heading to the state tournament. And what a match it was. One to be remembered. Just some outstanding goals, and it was led on goal scoring by Hunter Payer. He had a hat trick. He started off the scoring. He got one in the third and then another one in the fourth. And that second goal was something to be seen. A highlight-worthy thing. And the Red Knights win 9-3, but stay tuned for the ceremony as they set up there. Your final score, 9-3. And since they will be going to the state tournament, so we'll take a break for a minute and be back with the awards ceremony.
Red Knights' next game is yet to be determined as they turn it over the weekend when all of the section play is completed. The seeding process generally will take place over the weekend, and the pairings will be announced. So keep your eye on the newspaper. Speaking of state tournaments, though, the softball team, the Benilde-St. Margaret softball team, is in the state tournament. They start the tournament tomorrow in Mankato.
All right, I'm back here as we watch the two teams. Are we still going here, Paul? Okay. Just took a little break there. I was just listening to the PA announcer here, and I learned that the Red Knights softball team made the state tournament, so it's been a very successful spring for Red Knights sports, as both the girls and boys lacrosse teams won burst into their respective state tournaments, and the girls softball team has made the state tournament, and they got quite a boys baseball team as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if they made the state tournament. I think they won it a year or two ago, I want to say, or maybe I could be mistaken about that. But the table's out there in front.
The whole team's a really well-played game today. Today's award ceremony will be conducted by the site manager, Jerry Pettinger. He'll be assisted by the head coaches of the respective teams.
All right, so the awards ceremony about to begin. There's the Red Knights team. They'll award medals to the visiting runner-ups, Maple Grove Crimson.
5 runner-up medals will be awarded.
And there's the Red Knights as they're congratulating each other as they get back to the state tournament where they belong. Impressive 9-3 win, but it was not without their difficulties. They had to overcome adversity in the first half. All right, and here we'll announce him. That's Styler Steinkoff. He's the sophomore. He got goal number 1 to lead off the scoring for both teams. That is Luke Margaret. Number 7, that's Charlie Roush, the senior. 14 is Joey Heisler, a junior. Next, number 15, Lucas Bakke. Number 10, that's number 16, Shane Rask, a sophomore. Now Scott Cornelius, number 19, he's a senior. Number 20, Ricky Peterson, just a freshman. He'll be back next year. Conor Edlund, number 21, a senior. And Josh Steinkoff, the brother of Tyler, he's a senior, and that's the end. And you can see it's emotional for that young man, and rightfully so. Number 28
Number 31, Connor Casbaum.
was Rory Scanlon, and number 29 was Ben Schaffler. They're moving them through fast. Number 31 was Connor Casbaum. Number 33 was Tanner Brendan. There's 35. He played a heck of a match tonight. Mitchell Sides. 37, Ethan Sillerud. Number 40, Owen Smith. He's a sophomore. Parker Schutzenberg is a senior. He's number 42. And then the goaltender who played well tonight, Hale Fornoik, the junior. He'll be back. There's his coach congratulating him. And number 45, Landon Bakke. Number 46, Jackson Kuznick.
Number 49.
There's number 11. I don't know that we don't have him on the program, and that is number 9, and it's not Tommy Kramer, and I don't have his name. And now number 50, that's Briggs Leeser. And number 4, I don't have a name for him, unfortunately.
Jake Wilson.
And the assistant coaches for the Crimson, Jake Wilson, Jack Dugan, and the head coach is Joe Weichert. And congratulations to the Maple Grove Crimson. They played a heck of a first half, to be sure, with a 3-2 lead, but they couldn't find any scoring in the second half. It was all Red Knights.
No, congratulations to the
as they accept their runner-up trophy, and they got some hardware to bring back to Maple Grove and the northwest suburbs of the Twin Cities area. Now the Red Knights of Benilde-St. Margaret's will accept their first place medals. And yeah, there's some emotions there on the Crimson. They played their hearts out, to be sure. And there's number 1, Carson Brandt, and number 2, Rich Stockman. And boy, was he great doing those face-offs tonight. Critical in the second half. Number 3, Sky Rolled. Sophomore, Brad Little, junior captain, and obviously on the disabled list there. Looks like he has a broken thumb or something. Number 5, Luke Drews. He's a junior, he'll be back. Number 6, the sophomore, Gus Bell. Number 7, Lucas Platt, senior. Number 8, Cam Gelling, senior captain attacker, leading goal scorer. Number 10, Cannon Mills, sophomore attacker. Number 11, Kyle Stevens. Number 12, Adam Beckman. 14, Max Miller. Number 15, Riley Murphy. Or 14, Matt was Max Miller, then Riley Murphy. There's number 15, Riley Murphy. Dylan Poppin, number 16, just a freshman out there. Robbie Hoyt, a junior, he'll be back, number 17. Number 19, Will Fratelloni, junior, he'll be back. And 20, oh, there's number 21, Hunter Payer, the sophomore. He had a hat trick. I give him the #1 star of the game. He got their first goal, and he had the most incredible goal I've ever seen in the third quarter. Number 23, George Mo Broughton, the senior. Number 24, next, Sam Pickle. Pikel, I guess is how you pronounce it. My apologies. 25, the outstanding goaltender, senior captain, Justin Dahlum. Gets another match or two in the state tournament coming up. Now 27, Alex Esco, sophomore, he'll be back. Number 28, Kieran Wickner, senior. And number 33, William Connor, sophomore, he'll be back.
Also receiving
And that is number 26. I'm not sure who that is. I don't have a name for him. The assistant coaches are Sean Clemetsrud, Drew Peterson, and Giuseppe Palamo. And they're going to honor the student managers as well.
We'd also like to thank, here come the captains. The captains are going to receive now.
All right, now the captains with the trophy. There it is. Section 5A champion, Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. A kiss on the trophy from Cam Gelling, and there they are.
Any trophies, but
and they're now going to pose for the team victory shot. As I was explaining during the girls' final, this is a picture that they'll take with them everywhere they go for the rest of their lives. They'll look back on this and it will bring up great fond memories. A picture in time right here.
AJ Snyder from TCO.
And there they are, the 2022 Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights, undefeated on the year, and they're going to the state tournament. And there you have it. So for Paul Broden, our producer, for everyone connected with ParkTV 16 Sports, Alora, and Leah, I am Robert Christensen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.